The Week 8 AP poll is out, and there are some major things wrong this week. Looking at the top 5, you have Ohio State, Miami, Indiana, A&M, and Ole Miss. Now, Indiana at 3, I don't hate that move up there. They did just beat the number 3 team in the country, or who the AP had ranked as the number 3 team in the country, now ranked 8th. Then Ole Miss did struggle against Washington State. They did have to squeak out a win there, but I still think they're probably one of the top 5 teams in the country. I wouldn't have hated if they moved them down to that 8 spot, but I don't hate them at 5 either. Then you have Alabama coming off a big win against Mizzou. I think 6 is a good spot for them. They do have one loss on the year. Texas Tech, Oregon, Georgia, and LSU. Texas Tech had a big win over Kansas. They weren't going to be moved down. Oregon did lose by 10 to Indiana, but corresponding with the Indiana move up, I don't hate that. But Georgia at 9 just shouldn't be a thing. Georgia did beat Auburn 22-10 in Jordan Hare, but there was a lot of controversy in that game, a phantom timeout on Georgia's side, and then a fumble on a ball that definitely looked like it crossed the plane for Auburn. Georgia shouldn't have won that game, but Georgia definitely shouldn't be ranked 9th because of it. Then LSU should not be ranked 10th. They haven't had a big win all year. Their biggest win against Clemson looks a lot less impressive now that we know that Clemson's not a good football team. And in their only top 25 matchup, they lost to Ole Miss. LSU is only ranked 10th because they had a favorable preseason ranking, a ranking that I think the AP poll was wrong on, and LSU does not deserve to be 10. They are not the 10th best team in the country. In Tennessee at 11, I think Tennessee is definitely better than LSU. Tennessee should be moved up to 10 right behind Georgia. They lost on a field goal. Had they made that field goal, they would be a top 5 team. And Notre Dame at 13, another team that doesn't deserve to be there. They don't have a big win on the year. Both of their ranked matchups they lost in. Notre Dame is getting big name favorability here. Plus, starting the year ranked high. They should not be at 13. Notre Dame is not the 13th best team in the country. I don't like Oklahoma at 14 either. They also don't have a big win on the year. They did beat Michigan, but Michigan is now unranked. They also beat Auburn when Auburn was ranked, but Auburn now has 3 losses. And that game had a lot of things go against Auburn that shouldn't have happened. For example, Oklahoma's touchdown on what the SEC came out and said was an illegal play. And then they got beat by multiple possessions to a bad Texas team. I don't think that Oklahoma should be ranked at 14. I see no problem with BYU ranked at 15. Mizzou should be closer to Alabama. They just played in a 1-possession game. No reason for them to be 10 spots apart. And then same thing with Vanderbilt. They lost a very close battle to Alabama. Shouldn't be 11 spots behind Alabama. Don't hate Virginia or USF there. USC making it back into the polls after dropping out of the polls because of their loss to Illinois and then beating Michigan to get back into the poll. Think 20 is a good spot for them. Really don't hate Texas at 21, but I don't love them there either. I think they could have been ranked a little bit lower, and I wouldn't have hated if they were still left off after this week. We got Memphis, Utah, Cincinnati, and Nebraska finally making it into the poll. Know in the comments what you think of the AP poll. Like I said, there are some big issues with this poll, and I do not love it. I still think the AP poll could be a lot better. And like and follow to see more college football content on your feed.